Welcome back, everyone. We are live again. We'll do a quick sound check here on my end, make sure everything's good, but we'll let the algorithm do its thing. Okay, we have some people hopping on board now. We'll let the algorithm keep going, but we do have breaking news to cover in this live stream for today. It is Thursday evening, at least where I'm from. I hope you are all well, and I hope your week is going well so far. We have breaking news, folks. This is quite surprising. I didn't see this coming. I couldn't have predicted it. We have predicted many things on this channel before. We've predicted so many things in regards to stimulus and different areas and different choices that we believe that politicians and even the president, we've predicted so many things, but on this channel, I don't think I could have predicted this. This is truly breaking news coming out of nowhere. So we'll be talking about it in today's live stream. But if you are first hopping on and joining us, make sure that you give this video or live stream a big thumbs up, smash a like button. I would appreciate that. Alrighty. Say something in the chat here. Fantastic. Usually the numbers are a little bit more. We'll just let that kick in a little bit more. Just want to make sure we have sufficient people on before we begin. If you are first joining us, make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. I would greatly appreciate that. And have notifications turned on. Those notifications will tell you when we do upload a pre-recorded video, or even when we go live on this channel, you'll get notifications for both. So make sure that you do have notifications turned on. There we go. Hello, how are you doing? Okay, there we go. Numbers starting to kick in a little bit more. If you're first joining us, make sure that you give this video a big thumbs up, smash a like button. This will help the YouTube algorithm so we can get some more people on here. Make sure that YouTube does push it out to as many people because they got to hear this news. Hello, Sharon. Yes, we do have breaking news to share with you. Whoop. There we go. So if you are first joining us, let us know where you are tuning in from. You can say the city, the state. Let us know your location. Coming to you from New York here on my end. It is 7:04 p.m. on this Thursday evening. There we go. A little bit of a delay there with the algorithm. That's okay. Usually it's a little bit more expedited. That's fine. That's fine. Some people are first coming home from work, or they're eating dinner, whatever it might be. They're not on YouTube right now, so that's perfectly okay. But if you are catching the replay, let us know down below in the comment section. Say replay. If you're here for the live, let us know where you are tuning in from, location, city, all that good stuff. And I think we do have enough people to get started and get the ball rolling. There we go. If you are first joining us, as always, like button smashed, and make sure you are subscribed to this channel. And after, when we're done with the live stream, you can go ahead and use those links down below in the description to get some free stocks. Some of those value up to thousands of dollars in some cases. So certainly some value there just for supporting the channel. Okay, so this is in regards to unemployment. And well, first we'll recap on what we know. So we know that unemployment, the belief was that when we cut off unemployment, everyone would return back to work. People would stop sitting at home on their couches and eating potato chips all day and collecting unemployment checks from the government, and everything will return back to normal. Everything will be fine after we cut off those unemployment benefits, because not one state did so. Well, that ended up not being the case. Hello, my Earth family. Thank you for joining us from Nashville, Tennessee. So everyone thought it would be okay. We just cut off on unemployment benefits. Everything will return back to normal. That's how we get this country back on its feet and start the recovery. Just cut them off, because that's what we can blame all of our problems on. That's really the bane of this country right now, is unemployment benefits. That is what's causing so much headache, and that's why employers are not finding employees, and that's why no one is working anymore, is because of unemployment benefits. Well, lo and behold, just like we repeated on this channel time after time after time after time again, I probably said it maybe a few dozen times on this channel throughout all the updates that we covered throughout the last several months. Time after time after time again, we emphasize it. Government didn't want to listen to us, and that was the fact that that wouldn't be the case, right? That would not be the case, that if we cut off all those unemployment benefits, everyone will just return back to work. And lo and behold, the evidence is first starting just in the first week after cutting off, week or so after cutting off unemployment benefits. The proof is in the pudding, and the evidence is starting to come out, because according to reports, after the pandemic low of unemployment claims, now that we have cut unemployment benefits off, unemployment claims are starting to rise again. That is right. The number of Americans seeking unemployment benefits moved up last week to 332,000 from a pandemic low, a sign that worsening COVID infections may have slightly increased layoffs. But you just see the timing there as well, as far as the unemployment benefits, and that has to have some impact, some effect there. Applications for jobless aid rose from 312,000 the week before, according to the Labor Department. Jobless claims, which generally track the pace of layoffs, have fallen steadily for the last 2 months, as many employers struggling to fill jobs have held on to their workers. 2 weeks ago, jobless claims reached their lowest level since March of 2020. And if you look at the timing there, if you look at the sequence of events, the unemployment program started in the early days of the pandemic, March 2020, and they were cut off September, and now we're having the largest amount of claims since March of 2020. So the proof is there, and we're seeing it play out. The evidence is upon us that unemployment benefits, if you just cut them off, not everyone's going to return back to work, and not everything will return back to normal. Now, the increase, is small, might be temporary. The 4-week average of jobless claims, which smooths out fluctuations in the weekly data, dropped for the 5th straight week, just to below 336,000, the lowest since the pandemic began. Retail sales did unexpectedly rise last month. This is a sign that Americans might keep on spending despite the rise in coronavirus cases. That's good. That is a healthy figure for the economy. But the fact that unemployment claims are now up, and you see the timing right at when unemployment benefits were cut off, is not a good sign, and that is something that has to be fixed, and it has to be called out. Hello, BMST group. Yes, you could certainly slow it down in the replay if you'd like. That's perfectly fine. So yeah, unemployment claims, they are on the rise, and that is what is upon us. And that is the evidence that we have that cutting off unemployment benefits is not going to solve all of our problems. Now, there is a solution here. We do have other news. Now, just so you understand, you could blame this on our politicians. You could blame this on the president. Whoever you want to blame it on, there is certainly blame to be shared here. President Biden called for states to extend unemployment benefit programs. Those calls were not answered. No state, not one in the entire United States, has extended unemployment benefits at this point. Even the highest unemployment rated states in the nation, not one of them extended unemployment benefits. We thought New York was going to do it. It didn't happen. We thought California for sure. It didn't happen. New Mexico, Connecticut, New Jersey, some of these highest unemployment rate states in the nation, zero, not one of them extended benefits. And President Biden, he called out on state governors to do this. And many of the politicians gave excuses. Many of the governors gave excuses in these states, saying that it was the high cost of running these programs and it's financially too much to manage. For example, New Jersey Governor Phil Murphy, he had commented on why no state is extending benefits during a news briefing. He had said, it should be noted here that no state is extending this benefit beyond September 4th. It would cost at least $314 million per week and perhaps hundreds of millions of dollars more. But Americans are still struggling. And so we actually have, just when we thought all of our politicians and even the president of the United States let us down, we actually have a new call from one particular representative, and that is AOC, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Just when we thought all of our politicians let us down, when we thought the president let us down, all of our state governors did not take any action in regards to unemployment benefits. This one politician is saying, wait a minute, look at what's going on. We have to extend unemployment benefits. And this is not taboo, right? We've talked about it in previous updates, how during the 2008 pandemic, 2008 recession, pandemic is so stuck and embedded in my head that I just had to say that, 2008 recession, they were extended numerous times. In fact, for multiple years, unemployment benefits were extended. So this is not taboo to ask for unemployment benefits to be extended one more time, especially when COVID cases, and particularly the southern states, are running rampant with COVID and infections and cases. We can look at all the numbers, we've heard it all. And it's clear that Americans are still struggling. Many stories, you've heard those stories, maybe even know people that because of this unemployment cliff that we fell off, Now, many people have dug themselves into a deeper financial hole than they could ever imagine with this unemployment cliff that we had. One particular politician did not look down and is fighting for the people, and that is Representative AOC right here from the state of New York, where this was particularly a state where unemployment benefits were really a hot subject, right, with the governor and Kathy Hochul, and we created the petition. In fact, let me see if I got the petition ready to go, copy and paste it. I just want to make sure I have it here. I'll tell you what, let me pull it up. Hopefully it won't cut off if I, yeah, okay, just want to make sure it doesn't cut off. Let me get that petition for you guys. I'll put it in the chat. Remember, we started the petition many weeks ago. There we go, put it in the chat there. Maybe I could pin that. Can I pin that? Yes, I could pin that message there so that way everyone can see it at the top. Very good. So remember many weeks ago when it was relatively anticipated that at least some states were going to extend unemployment benefits, right? We couldn't have even imagined that no state, zero, after President Biden's calls, even states like California that had a budget surplus, we couldn't have possibly imagined in our wildest dreams that not one single state was going to extend. We created this petition for the state of New York here because it was a very hot subject and we were getting zero answers from any officials, anyone whatsoever in this state. So we created this petition and it got a lot of traction between my YouTube audience and just a little bit of Twitter traction as well. But then many people started to share it on their own social media pages, and even people started to donate money. So I pinned it in the chat there, and we created this petition, and it's gotten several hundred signatures. And at this point, it would be actually a prime time to sign that petition because of this new call from AOC, from Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. So let's dive into what she's calling for and what she is liking to see and wants to see passed in the United States Congress. So Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, a Democrat from New York, love her or hate her, she's a fighter. She stands for what she believes in. She doesn't really flip-flop per se. She really stands her ground on her positions and what she fights for. And you might see her as too far left, as too extreme and too radical, but she's a fighter. She stands up for what she believes in, and in this case, she is fighting for the everyday working person, or in this case, not working because they're unemployed. And so she's now going to introduce legislation that would extend all federal unemployment programs into next year. As we know, the programs expired earlier this month, and no extension is even included or even discussed about in the infrastructure plans and Biden's agenda currently moving through Congress. So recently, Ocasio-Cortez said in a town hall just earlier this week, quote, "I've been very disappointed on both sides of the aisle that we've just allowed pandemic unemployment assistance to completely lapse. When we were clearly not fully recovered from the cost effects of the pandemic, I simply just could not allow this to happen with at least trying." So that's great. This is at least have somebody. Yeah, that's true. She did get a lot of controversy with that dress there at the Met Gala, with the Tax the Rich gala, which was $30K a person and a couple $100,000 for a table. That is true. Love her or hate her. You could hate her for many reasons. You could love her for some reasons. But she is fighting and standing up for this one particular issue. And, maybe she can create some unity surrounding this issue. Maybe she can get some people back on her side after that Met Gala dress. But totally up to your opinion and what you believe. So that's what she said at the town hall. Her legislation not only would extend it through January, but it would actually extend it through February. So her legislation would extend the pandemic program, which lapsed on September 6th, all the way to February 1st of 2022. Now, this would also mean that workers who saw a lapse in their benefits would be paid retroactively if the legislation is enacted. This was the case with all of the stimulus bills, especially in regards to unemployment. This was the case, right, that your benefits were retroactively paid out. So let's say there was a lapse of time, which we covered on this channel, where you had one stimulus package with their benefits ready to expire, and the next stimulus package was still in talks in Congress. The benefits were paid out retroactively for the people that were on unemployment on the coronavirus pandemic unemployment programs. So that would be the case with her legislation. So that's great news for people that are struggling right now and cannot even feed their kids and can't afford a roof over their heads. As we know, as we've covered, an estimated 7.5 million unemployed workers lost all their benefits in September when the key pandemic unemployment programs ended. This is according to estimates that we know by think tanks and research groups. Approximately 4.2 million workers lost the PUA. That was the program that gives people benefits to people that would not normally qualify, right? Like gig workers, freelancers, the self-employed. Another 3.3 million workers on the PEUC, or Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation Program, that extended the duration of unemployment benefits. That also lost benefits in those people on those programs. And as well as that additional $300 supplement paid by the federal government, all ran out, all those programs all at once, this synchronized chaos that we had play out across the country on September 6th. 4 million more workers lost some or all of their benefits in June and July after 26 states, majority of them red states, opted out of the federal unemployment programs early. So she went on to say at the town hall, quote, "I will be reintroducing legislation to bring back the pandemic unemployment assistance. I'm not entirely sure the prospects of it. We will work it out. We will try, but I just simply cannot allow us to let this happen without us at least trying," is what she said. It's unclear if this legislation is just verbal, just verbally that she's calling those. So far, no actual physical legislation has been introduced yet. Now it is, so it's unclear whether or not she would include a supplement. Would it be 300? Would it be half of that? Would it be 600? Would there be a supplement at all in her legislation? We don't know that, but surely she would extend PUA and PEUC. Those programs would certainly be extended and covered under her legislation. Now, if we got a bigger name, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, certainly that is a large and especially up and coming name in the United States Congress. But perhaps if we got another politician, another Congress member or senator to endorse this bill, such as someone that she's really close with, Senator Bernie Sanders, that would certainly be interesting. If you had now a call from him, who is the chairman of the Senate Budget Committee, if you had him endorse that legislation, then this certainly could start making moves and start making headway through the United States Congress. Certainly, she will be able to get, her squad, per se, Rashida Tlaib, right, Ilhan Omar. I'm sure they'll sign on to this legislation and support it. But if she could really get some big names, some big players in the Congress to sign into this legislation, well, we could start having a serious conversation again about unemployment benefits being extended. Maybe she even saw our petition. Who knows? Maybe she saw it. Who knows? So be sure to sign that petition, right? The link there is in the chat on the side, left or right, top, bottom, depending on your device. So it's free to sign the petition, right? It doesn't cost you anything. And, the more word that we get out there, the more politicians that we can reach. Perhaps, you could see some more people start to endorse her legislation. So you just never know. Petitions have made its way through Congress historically. So never hurts to sign that. Catch up on the chat really quick here. Okay, Beverly's coming to us from Albany. Great to have you. So we do have some New Yorkers here. I know Miriam is also from New York, so we certainly have some New Yorkers here. But in this case, because in all the updates that we talked about unemployment, we've mainly talked about New York because that petition is for New York particularly. In this case, her petition would actually be federal, right? So it would be for the entire nation, including states that cut the benefits off. I'm not sure exactly how that would work out. Might get into some litigation there. And, judges would have to step in and make a ruling on that. I'm not exactly sure. I'm not an attorney general. I can't tell you exactly. But certainly there could be some controversy and conflict there if her legislation were to make it through and say that federally unemployment benefits get extended. And then can governors opt out of those programs again, just like they did, originally with Biden's American Rescue Plan. So I don't know exactly how that would play out, but there would be some conflict there. And some backlash from, at least the majority of the red states. But that is what we have in front of us, right? So we thought that all of our politicians let us down. We thought unemployment was going to be a thing of the past. We thought that was an old conversation at this point, and it expired for good permanently. But, now we could have actually a serious conversation about the prospects of unemployment possibly being extended again. So you just never know, because if you look at all the programs that I could have sworn were going to be cut off, like the student loan forbearance, the eviction moratorium. All these programs kept getting extended again and again and again for months and months on end. So it would not be surprising if this happens to be the case with unemployment, if her legislation could make it through. Now, one disadvantage is that Congress and the Democrats are very focused on the infrastructure plan and the $3.5 trillion budget and Biden's agenda and his vision. Especially now, they got to start thinking about the midterms and campaigning for that. And they got to campaign and go across their areas talking about how they were able to pass this and do all these wonderful things for them, like they promised, and they fulfilled their promises made, promises kept. Whether or not Congress would take up this bill and her legislation right now in the midst of all this, that is certainly a question that we would have to answer in the future. We don't really know how that would play out. But, she is a fighter, and she is going to be moving forward with this legislation, right? We know her. We know her resolve and her determination. She's not just going to let this fly by her, right? She's going to keep going and push this legislation through Congress as much as she can. So we'll keep our eyes peeled. We'll see what happens with this bill from AOC. We want to thank AOC. If you are unemployed and your unemployment benefits are cut off, definitely give her your gratitude and thank her for pushing for this, because no one else is doing it. I'll tell you that. No politician, nobody, no political figure is talking about unemployment right now. That is a thing of the past. So that's what we have. That is all we know, that she is going to push this legislation through. We'll see what happens. We'll keep you guys updated on it and see if it makes any headway. We'll see if it could even get introduced on the congressional floor, if that could even be debated and discussed about. We'll have to see. We don't have all the answers right now, but we will certainly keep our eyes peeled and stay tuned. So I hope you enjoyed this video and this live stream. I want to thank you all for joining us. If you want to see more live streams and videos just like this to keep you guys updated, and that way you are in the know about what's going on, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. Smash the like button. Make sure you are subscribed to this channel. Click that big red button and the notification bell. If you want to get some free stocks, as always, use those links down below in the description. And the petition will also be in the comment section as well if you're watching the replay. And if you want to connect with me on Instagram, I am on Instagram at Logan Cohn, LOGANKOHN. Just use my name, punch that in there. Link is also down below as always. I can give you a follow back, shout you out there. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you all so much for joining us. I will see you in the next one. Take care for now.